In this section we're going to look at trigonometric functions, and before we can do that we have to talk about angles. So an angle AOB consists of two rays R1 and R2 with a common vertex O, and ray 1 goes through the points O and A, and ray 2 goes through the points O and B. And we can think of an angle as a rotation of R2, leaving the ray R1 fixed. R1 is called the initial side and R2 the terminal side. And this is the terminal side. And if the rotation is counterclockwise, then the angle is positive, and if the rotation is clockwise, then the angle is negative. There are two commonly used measures for angles. They're degrees and radians. And in calculus we'll mostly talk about radians because the trigonometric functions are defined in terms of radians. If a circle of radius 1 is drawn, suppose we have an angle, we draw the circle of radius 1 with the vertex of the angle at the center, and let's assume that this angle is a counterclockwise angle, then the measure of the angle in radians is the length of the arc of the circle that subtends the angle. So it's the length of this arc here. And if you remember, the length of the circumference of the circle is 2 pi. So one complete revolution here has length 2 pi. A straight angle, therefore, is going to have length 1/2 of a complete revolution, which is just pi, and a quarter angle, or a right angle, or a quarter revolution, will have a measure of pi over 2. Here's some pictures of angles and their measures. If you zoom in on this online, you'll see the measures. This is 2 pi. This is one full revolution in a counterclockwise direction, and it completes one full circle, so its angle is 2 pi. Quarter circle in a counterclockwise direction has measured pi over 2. A half revolution, it's a straight angle, has measured pi, and of course a quarter revolution in a clockwise direction has measured minus pi over 2. 1 radian is here. It's I guess pi is about 3.14, so it's a little more than 1/6 of the circle, so this is 1 radian, and this is 2 radians. Usually when we talk about radians or radian measure, we're going to have a pi in there somewhere. We usually use pi as our units. The degree measure of a full circle, one full revolution, is 360 degrees. And so therefore, when we translate from degrees to radians, we have 360 degrees equals 2 pi. So that gives us two conversion formulas. It gives us 1 degree is the left-hand side divided by 360, and that's 2 pi over 360 radians. So that's pi over 180 radians. So therefore, if we want to convert from degrees to radians, we're going to multiply our degrees by pi over 180, because 1 degree is pi over 180 radians. Also, if we divide the right-hand side by 2 pi, we get that 1 radian is 360 over 2 pi degrees. So 1 radian is 180 over pi degrees, so to convert from radians to degrees we should multiply by 180 over pi. you should attempt to convert these angles given in degrees to radians, and convert these angles given in radians to degrees, and then look at the next video to see if you have the right answers.